Alright, hello everyone, this is Tony, and today we are going to be talking about
CD Projekt Red.
the publishers or the developers. I think it's the developers, the people who made Cyberpunk basically. They're getting sued because of how poorly Cyberpunk did on its release, alright? Now this is kind of in continuation to the video I made recently. It was like a week ago, I'm pretty sure, about, Cyberpunk's horrendous launch, like all the bugs, crashes, the way the game didn't work on two fairly major consoles. If you want to watch that before you continue with this, it will give you a bit of insight of why this is happening. Then I'll put a link on the video, or not a link. I'll put a picture here, and then I'll put a link to it now. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, CDPR is being sued. So I originally found this out from IGN, but then after doing a little bit more research on a website called ARS Technica, they said that two different law firms announced last week they were filing suit against CD Projekt, alleging the company violated securities law by misleading investors and everyone else about the state of Cyberpunk 2077 and whether it would be playable on current generation consoles, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Statements CD Projekt Red made about Cyberpunk throughout 2020 were materially false and misleading. The complaint PDF alleges because the company failed to mention that the game was virtually unplayable on current generation Xbox or PlayStation systems due to an enormous number of bugs. Those bugs were not widely known prior to the game's release because the company did not make console copies of the game available for review. Every outlet that had a pre-release copy of Cyberpunk, including ARS, played it on PC. CD Projekt Red, after release, apologized for not making the console version available and in consequence not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase, which is exactly what I was saying in my last videos. When they were showing off the game before its release, it was only on PC, and then when it comes out, people buy it for like PlayStation 4 and Xbox and realize, oh shit, this game doesn't work at all on these consoles. It's just for some people, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't launch. This guy I went to secondary with, he's mates with Daniel, who I was talking to about this. He bought Cyberpunk for his PS4. It would just crash with PS4. He can't play a game. He just paid like 60 quid for. So apparently the people that are suing CDPR is some of the investors, the people that invest money into this game. And according to an article from GameRon, Cyberpunk 2077 developer CD Projekt Red seems to understand the launch of its latest project didn't go over well, but the company doesn't believe it did anything to constitutes a violation of federal laws. That's why CDPR said in its own legal filing Friday that it will vigorously defend itself against a recent class action lawsuit filed by an investor regarding Cyberpunk 2077. The lawsuit alleges CDPR misled its investors about the quality of Cyberpunk 2077 ahead of its December release. In particular, the plaintiff alleged the company misled those financially tied to the developer over its depository receipts and incurring losses. According to Bloomberg, the suit was filed in Los Angeles court, and CDPR stock took another hit not long after the lawsuit was made official. So this lawsuit is being made by investors that aren't happy. Now, the thing is, I don't believe personally that a lawsuit it's half and half. I think it's kind of deserved, but I also think it's not it's not entirely necessary, because the game still made money. It still made a lot of money. So a lawsuit would most logically make sense if the company if CDPR promised these investors a bunch of a certain amount of money made from this the copies they sell for Cyberpunk. And if they didn't meet that, then maybe a lawsuit would kind of be entailed. But Cyberpunk still sold over 50. How many copies did it sell? Wait, let me just check. Okay, so Cyberpunk 2077 sold 13 million copies. That is still 13 million copies. The game still made a tremendous amount of money. The only issue was its, large amount of bugs and the unplayability on both of its consoles. But again, when I was talking to Daniel about this, because we were on like Discord last night, he said that basically these people, they're making a lawsuit and they're trying to get a load of people to back them, just so then, you know, that they say, okay, back us in this lawsuit and we'll give you a bunch of money. I think that this lawsuit is more money hungry than anything, because it's not, they claim it's about the way that the actual launch went. But then even though the launch was horrible, I'm not denying that. I don't think it kind of like they violated any laws with that. I don't understand, like, well, I'm not really into law, so I don't know how much you know, I don't know what kind of laws there are regarding, like, you know, promises made from CDPR to the investors, but I don't know if that's you know, eligible for a lawsuit. But anyway, CD Projekt Red has said that it will like vigorously defend itself in the lawsuit, which, I mean, fair enough, because they're already in like a load of shit right now as it is. Like, they are in tremendous shit. The game, you know, the launch, they've been hyping it up for years, then then it launches, and then it doesn't work on 2 consoles. Now that no one believes in their company, they've said that right now they don't care how much money they need to spend on it. They just need to get, you know, the public to trust in their company again, which I think, you know, fair enough, because this is a big deal. But now, you know, with the investors suing them, it kind of makes their job harder, because it's going to take longer. You know, that they probably have a whole legal team, but still a lot of their efforts are going to be needed to focus on, you know, defending themselves in this lawsuit. So it's a bit of a sticky situation. I don't think a lawsuit is 100% justified. Again, I'm not a law person, but that's just me from an outsider's perspective. I don't know. I am going to get Cyberpunk at some point. When I have a PS5, I will get Cyberpunk. But for the time being, it just doesn't seem, you know, like, once they fix everything, then I'll consider getting a copy. But for the time being, I just want to get one, and I wouldn't suggest anyone else does either, unless you have a monster PC. So at the end of the day, I don't think a lawsuit is justified to CDPR. I think, you know, the game came out, it was a horrendous launch, but they still didn't violate any, as far as I'm concerned, they didn't really violate any laws. But, you know, that's just me. Anyways, that's it on the matter, and I'm out.